Clarity of thought is the foundation of every meaningful achievement. Life does not respond well to confusion, and it rarely rewards vague intentions. When a person drifts through life without clearly deciding what they want, their energy is scattered, their efforts are inconsistent, and their results are unpredictable. But the moment clarity enters the mind, direction is born. Clear decision gives the mind something specific to move toward, and once the mind has a target, it begins to organize resources, ideas, and actions around that objective. Many people say they want success, happiness, or abundance, yet they never define what those words truly mean to them. Education teaches us that the brain functions best with precision. When a goal is clearly defined, the subconscious mind starts filtering information differently. Opportunities that once went unnoticed suddenly become visible. Solutions appear not because the world changed, but because the mind became focused enough to recognize them. This is the practical side of attraction. Attention determines experience. Clarity also eliminates hesitation. When you know exactly what you are aiming for, decision-making becomes simpler. You waste less time debating and more time doing. Inspiration grows when doubt shrinks, and doubt shrinks when the mind is clear. A clear vision gives confidence even before results appear, because confidence is not built on outcomes alone, but on certainty of direction. Writing goals down, thinking about them daily, and visualizing them with intention strengthens clarity. This is not fantasy, it is mental training. The mind cannot distinguish between a clearly imagined experience and a real one, and repeated visualization conditions belief. Belief then influences behavior. A person who is clear about their destination naturally adjusts their actions to match it. Clarity also creates responsibility. Once you define what you want, you can no longer blame confusion for inaction. You either move toward the goal or you don't. This awareness is empowering, not limiting. It puts control back into your hands and reminds you that progress is a choice made daily. When clarity of thought becomes a habit, life begins to feel more intentional. Effort becomes purposeful, time is used more wisely, and motivation becomes more stable. The law of attraction responds to this state of mind because clarity sends a strong signal. It communicates readiness, commitment, and belief. And when thought, focus, and intention align, direction is no longer a struggle, it becomes a natural outcome. Emotional alignment is the force that gives life to thought. A goal may be clearly defined, but without the right emotional state, it remains weak and distant. The mind listens carefully to emotion. What you consistently feel becomes what you expect, and what you expect quietly shapes how you behave. This is why emotions are not just reactions to life. They are signals that guide life's direction. Many people think they must wait for success before they feel confident, grateful, or fulfilled. In reality, it works the other way around. Education shows us that emotions influence perception and decision-making. When a person chooses to feel hopeful, focused, and grateful before results appear, the brain becomes more creative and resilient. Inspiration reminds us that emotions can be trained, not left to chance. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional states because it shifts attention from lack to possibility. When you appreciate what you already have, you condition your mind to recognize progress rather than absence. This emotional habit builds optimism, and optimism fuels persistence. A grateful mind does not quit easily because it can already see value in the journey. Belief is another essential emotion. Belief does not require proof. It requires commitment. When you emotionally commit to a goal, you begin to act as if achievement is possible. Your posture changes, your words change, and your effort becomes more consistent. These small shifts compound over time and create results that once seemed unreachable. Emotional alignment also means managing negative states without denying them. Fear, doubt, and frustration are natural, but they must not be allowed to lead. Education teaches us that emotional awareness increases self-control. Inspiration teaches us that emotions are temporary, but purpose is permanent. When challenges arise, returning to your vision with positive emotional intent keeps you moving forward. Living in emotional alignment does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing emotions that support growth rather than sabotage it. Confidence, gratitude, patience, and determination are emotional habits that strengthen attraction. When thoughts and emotions move in the same direction, effort becomes lighter, focus becomes sharper, and progress becomes inevitable. Action is the point where intention meets reality. Desire without action remains a wish, and clarity without movement produces frustration. The law of attraction responds to effort because effort demonstrates belief. When a person takes action, even small action, they send a clear signal that they are serious about their goals. Education teaches us that learning and progress only occur through application, while inspiration reminds us that courage is developed by doing, not by waiting. Many people wait for perfect conditions before they begin. They wait for confidence, motivation, or certainty. But action is often what creates these qualities. Confidence grows through experience, motivation follows momentum, and certainty is built through repeated effort. When you move, the mind adapts, begins to find solutions, adjust strategies, and strengthen belief. This is how attraction becomes practical rather than abstract. Consistent action builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. This self-trust is powerful. It reduces hesitation and increases persistence. Over time, small, disciplined actions accumulate into major results, proving that success is not the product of sudden breakthroughs, but of steady progress. Action also exposes opportunities. Opportunities rarely appear to those who stand still. They reveal themselves along the path of movement. Each step forward introduces new information, new people, and new perspectives. Even mistakes become valuable when action is taken, because they provide feedback that improves future decisions. Education values feedback as a learning tool, and inspiration sees it as proof of growth. There will be days when action feels difficult and results feel distant. On those days, discipline must replace emotion. Discipline is not about force. It is about direction. It means doing what moves you forward even when you do not feel inspired. This consistency creates momentum, and momentum reduces resistance. Action aligns thought, emotion, and behavior into one powerful force. When effort becomes habitual, progress becomes predictable. The law of attraction works most effectively when desire is backed by movement, because movement transforms intention into reality and belief into measurable results. Daily habits and environment quietly shape the direction of life. What a person repeatedly does, listens to, and surrounds themselves with eventually becomes their normal way of thinking. Education shows us that behavior is largely habitual, and inspiration reminds us that changing habits can change destiny. The law of attraction responds strongly to consistency because consistency reflects identity. What you do daily is a clearer message than what you say you want. Small habits may seem insignificant in the moment, but they compound over time. Reading a few pages, improving a skill slightly, or choosing a positive response in a difficult situation may not feel powerful today yet. Repeated daily, these actions reshape character. Character influences decisions, and decisions determine outcomes. When habits align with goals, progress becomes natural rather than forced. Environment plays an equally important role. Conversations, media, and relationships constantly influence emotional and mental states. When a person is surrounded by negativity, doubt becomes familiar and limitation feels normal. When the environment is uplifting, focused, and growth-oriented, possibility becomes believable. Education teaches that exposure affects learning, while inspiration teaches that association affects aspiration. Protecting the mind is essential. The mind absorbs what it repeatedly hears and sees, often without resistance. Choosing positive, educational, and motivating input strengthens belief and focus. This does not mean avoiding reality. It means selecting influences that encourage progress rather than drain energy. A disciplined environment supports disciplined action. Habits and environment also reinforce self-image. When you act in alignment with your goals and place yourself among people who value growth, you begin to see yourself differently. This shift in identity is powerful. You no longer try to succeed, you expect to improve. Expectation changes effort, and effort changes results. Over time, aligned habits and a supportive environment create momentum. Motivation becomes less necessary because progress becomes routine. The law of attraction responds to this stability by multiplying opportunities that match your behavior and mindset. When daily actions and surroundings reflect growth, success stops feeling distant and starts feeling inevitable. Patience and persistence are the unseen forces that allow the law of attraction to work fully. Many people give up too early, not because their goals are impossible, but because they expect immediate results. Education teaches us that growth follows a process, and inspiration reminds us that worthwhile achievements take time. Just because progress is not visible does not mean it is not happening. Roots grow before fruits appear. When effort is consistent but results seem delayed, discouragement often enters the mind. This is where persistence becomes critical. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is disciplined faith in motion. It is the decision to continue acting in alignment with your goals, even when feedback is slow. Each repeated effort strengthens skill, sharpens awareness, and builds internal strength. These changes may be invisible at first, but they are preparing you for larger outcomes. Patience keeps emotions steady during uncertainty. Without patience, people rush decisions, abandon good strategies, or change direction too often. Education shows that mastery requires repetition, while inspiration teaches that endurance separates those who succeed from those who quit. Patience allows learning to mature and confidence to stabilize. Persistence also refines character. Challenges are not obstacles meant to stop you. They are tests meant to strengthen you. When difficulties appear, they reveal areas that need growth, discipline, belief, skill, or resilience. Responding with persistence turns problems into training. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes manageable, and what once felt impossible becomes familiar. Trusting the process is essential. The law of attraction does not operate on emotional urgency. It responds to alignment over time. When thoughts remain focused, emotions remain positive, and actions remain consistent, results must eventually follow. Giving up too soon breaks alignment, not because the goal was wrong, but because the process was interrupted. Persistence transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Every effort builds momentum, and momentum reduces resistance. When patience guides persistence, progress becomes inevitable. The person who continues learning, adjusting, and acting will always outperform the person who waits for perfect conditions. In the long run, patience keeps the vision alive, and persistence keeps the journey moving. Together, they turn belief into reality and effort into achievement. When these principles work together, the law of attraction becomes a practical way of living rather than a distant idea. Clear thinking provides direction. Emotional alignment supplies energy. Consistent action creates momentum. Daily habits and environment reinforce growth. And patience with persistence allows the process to unfold naturally. Each element supports the other, forming a complete system for personal progress. Success is not the result of chance or wishful thinking. It is the outcome of intentional thought, disciplined emotion, and repeated effort over time. When a person commits to clarity, chooses emotions that strengthen belief, acts with consistency, builds supportive habits, and remains patient through challenges, life begins to respond differently. Opportunities appear, confidence grows, and progress becomes steady. The law of attraction does not reward urgency or desperation. It rewards alignment. When who you are becoming matches what you are seeking, results follow as a natural consequence. By practicing these principles daily, goals stop feeling distant and start becoming achievable. What once seemed impossible becomes realistic, not because the world changed, but because you did.